Woodpeckers' newest one-time tools, the gap and mini gap gauges, are two super handy tools that eliminate the need for accurate measurements to achieve tight-fitting joints. By simply adjusting it to fit the inside or outside of either half of the joint, the other end of the gauge is automatically set to the size needed for a perfect fit. With Woodpecker's standard gauge gap, it's simple to achieve tight-fitting dados. Adjust the two gauge halves to fit over the board's thickness and tighten the knob, and you instantly have a gauge to set up your stacked dado head cutter, as well as a gauge to check your first test cut. And with the interlocking fingers, you can check the gap of a dado and use the opposite end to check your planed board's thickness for a perfect match to the dado's width. Our mini gap gauge is the perfect tool for fitting mortise and tenon joints. Once your mortise is cut, insert the interlocking fingers and spread them against the inside walls of the mortise and tighten the knob. On the opposite end of the gauge is an exact opening needed for checking your tenon's thickness. Now you can trim the tenon and check its fit till you achieve that tight-fitting mortise joint. Woodpecker's gap and mini gap gauges both work the same way. One end has interlocking fingers that allow for checking inside of gaps as small as 1/8 of an inch and as large as 1 1/8 of an inch. The opposite end features a gap opening that automatically changes with the spacing of the fingers and vice versa. Whether you're trying to shim a stacked dado or trim a tenon to a perfect fit, Woodpecker's gap gauges are the perfect tool to take the guesswork out of the process. Like all Woodpecker's one-time tools, Woodpecker's new gap and mini gap gauges are machined in our plant just outside of Cleveland, Ohio, and made in the USA.